Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the Batman and Lieutenant Gordon set from the 4-inch line of figures for The Batman from Spin Master. So as you can see here, we get Batman, we get Lieutenant Gordon, we get some accessories, and then we get this massive police car, which I actually think looks pretty great. Spinning it around to the side here, really just another picture of Batman. There's not really much going on with this packaging. You have the bat there up top. Over here, it's the exact same picture of Batman. On the bottom, just kind of the customer service information, the barcode. If we spin around to the back, pretty cool press photo there of Batman and Gordon with the cop car in the back. I love the backdrop of Gotham. I think that looks pretty cool. Shows you the scale here, and then it kind of shows you a little bit how the cop car works. Literally, the entire top of the car lifts off so you can put the figures inside, which I think is kind of hilarious. But I do really like this picture here on the back. They did a pretty good job with that. So without further ado, I'm going to get everything out of the box here, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so here's everything that comes in the box. Actually, that's not true. We do have a couple of accessories to get through real quick, but I'm going to go through them very fast because you've seen them all before. We have the battle damage chest plate for Batman. We have the grappling gun. We have the taser gun. We have the knife that came with Selina. And then we get a couple of batarangs. Now, I have to say, I don't mind having a couple extra batarangs. They're tiny, they get lost, so it's nice to have a couple extra of these. Plus, there's a Batman in this set, so of course it makes sense to have the batarangs. But everything else just feels kind of lazy. It's like they made the same 6 accessories for this whole line, and they just keep trading them around. I mean, wouldn't it have made sense to give Gordon a revolver, or a badge, or some handcuffs or something? It would make sense for a cop to have some typical cop accessories. Nothing. So they just gave us the same accessories all over again. We've seen them already with the Batcave. We've seen them with the single-carded figures. It just seems lazy to me. Please give us some new accessories for this line. Speaking of things we've already seen, you know, here's Batman. It is the same Batman we've seen with the Batmobile in the single-carded line. So odds are you probably have this Batman already. Still a good figure. And I understand why he's included. I mean, the movie is The Batman, so it makes sense to want to include a Batman in each set. But at least when they did the Batman with the Batcave, he was unmasked, so it was kind of a variant. When they did the Batman with the Selina Kyle chase, he had the kind of battle damage ripped up section, so that was a variant. Give us something, whether it's just a different color scheme or some more battle damage or something. Give us some kind of variant instead of just giving us the exact same Batman over and over again. I completely understand putting a Batman in every set. That just makes sense. That way, whenever you get a set, you're getting a Batman. That's what they want. But just do some kind of variant, so that way the people that collect all of them have a reason to have all these different Batmans. But like I said, it's still a good figure. Head can go side to side. You have a little bit of up and down movement there in the head, or neck rather. You have a hinge. You have a swivel there in the shoulder. You have a hinge and a swivel in the elbow. From the forearm down is one solid piece, nothing in the waist. Kick forward, kick out to the side, can't really kick back. Got a thigh swivel. You have a knee bend 90 degrees, and then you have a swivel directly below the knee. And then from basically the whole boot is one solid piece. And then you got the cape back here. Nylon material. So, I mean, it's a good figure. Don't get me wrong. I just, I already have 2 or 3 of them at this point. So, I would like some kind of variant. Even if he just gave us, like, the gray and black costume, I don't care if it's not in the movie. Just do something. Give us a little something different. I don't know. Anyway, let's put him aside. We'll move on to Gordon. Honestly, not a bad figure. It doesn't look exactly like Jeffrey Wright, but it's not terrible. It mostly loses me around the mustache, I think, just because I'm used to seeing Jeffrey Wright with like a full beard or a goatee or something, so the mustache looks a little ridiculous. But it's still a pretty good figure, and at least it's a new figure, which I appreciate. So, head can move side to side, not really much up and down there in the neck. He's got the same hinge and swivel in the shoulders, hinge and swivel in the elbow. Again, from the elbow down is one solid piece. Now, I will say it gets a little weird here in the middle because he's got like a solid seam here that makes it seem like he should have a waist swivel. But really, that's because the bottom part of his jacket is a different kind of plastic than the upper section here. So this is all done in kind of hard plastic because it's molded. And then they wanted to give you like a little bit softer plastic for the bottom part of his jacket so that you could move his legs. So I do appreciate that because I don't want to limit articulation. but it does give that kind of weird seam all the way around at the waist there. So it's a trade-off, but still pretty cool. Again, you can kick forward, you can kick out to the side, you have a thigh swivel there, you do have a knee bend and a swivel, and then from the knee down is one solid piece. So it's a pretty cool looking figure. Like I said, I desperately wish he had some kind of accessories that made sense for him instead of just the same Batman accessories we've gotten over and over again. But I guess he has one accessory, and that is the police car. So let's take a closer look at that. So the cop car, I think, actually looks kind of nice. Really nice paint applications. All of the blue up here, the 209. You got the light bar. Gotham City Police on the side. GCP. Now, of course, that should be GCPD, but they don't have department over here, so they just kept it uniform. They've got the lights painted on the front. All this is pretty nicely molded. It rolls decently well. Underneath looks kind of hollow, but doesn't really ruin the functionality at all. And then basically how this works is you can see here, there's a spot to grab this. And it doesn't look all that out of place. I mean, yes, you can obviously tell normal cars don't have this, but it's not terrible. And then you lift this up, and this whole section lifts up. And then we have the interior of the car. Now, there's not much going on here. Honestly, I feel like this kind of looks like the inside of the Batmobile, except that the wheel's not extended. So you really have no trouble getting two figures in there. You can kind of even sit a figure back here because there's room for the legs to go underneath. So let's bring Gordon in here. And if I have him bend at the waist, I can kind of sit him back here and then close this up. And you can kind of see him like looking out the back window. So that's not too bad. Or you could just throw accessories back there. I mean, there's a lot of room. I think the box just kind of shows you just tossing all the accessories back there, which you could do, but then they'll kind of rattle around in there, so getting them out might be kind of a pain. But you can easily fit two figures in here, and it's really nice. I mean, he fits right in there, no issue. There's two defined seats, which I really like. Closes up well, fits inside nicely. We'll see if we can get Batman in there driving the police car, just to get two figures in there. So we will pop him inside. Maybe push his legs together a little bit. His one leg, I think, is just getting caught. There we go. But yeah, you can fit them both inside. Really nice. And like I said, you could definitely fit a third figure in the back or a bunch of accessories, whichever you like. But it's pretty well done. Really nice paint applications. I like the way it can hold the figures. I don't know why they didn't just do 4 normal seats, because you have this giant chunk of plastic here. You could have easily just molded seats here and just had 4 seats. That's what I would have preferred, but it's not terrible. Like I said, you can at least fit at least one more in there. You might, if it was tight, you had some finagling power to kind of get 2 in there. You might be able to get 2 side by side. But you can definitely fit at least 3 figures in there. I just think to make it like a classic cop car, I would want to have, you know, kind of open this up and have like a gate here, you know, a cage, and then have, you know, room to put bad guys in the back so that way he can catch the Riddler or whoever and put them in the back. We still haven't gotten a Riddler figure, by the way. I'm waiting on that. I'm hoping that's wave 2 of the single-carded figures. But yeah, this is a pretty cool set, and I actually really like the cop car a lot. I think this is a pretty great set. I actually really like the cop car. I think they did a good job with that. Paint applications all look really sharp. I like how it opens up. You can easily get the figures in and out. You could probably easily fit 3 figures in here. Maybe 4 if you could squeeze them in. I kind of wish that they had just done 2 additional seats in the back. I feel like they did have the room to do that. And that way you could have a separate section for bad guys to be hauled away. Not a big deal, but I still think that would have been a better case. But the fact that you can still fit 3 figures inside is pretty impressive. The Gordon figure looks pretty good. He has that weird seam around the waist, which I don't love, but I appreciate they did it because they wanted the kind of bottom section of the jacket to be made of a softer plastic, so he wouldn't hinder his leg articulation, which I do appreciate. The biggest problem with this set, honestly, is just the redo of everything, the repack of everything. Another Batman figure, I get it. But all the same accessories, I will say that feels a little lazy. There's no reason they couldn't have given Gordon some cop-specific accessories like a gun or a badge or some handcuffs. In addition to, you know, throw us 2 Batarangs for Batman, give us a couple Gordon-specific accessories, and you're good to go. I would have been completely fine with that. but it just kind of feels lazy. Like they're just, every time they need some accessories, they're just throwing the same 4 to 5 at you. And I don't know. I don't think they were that great to begin with, let alone third, fourth time I'm getting them. Honestly, at this point, I kind of wish I had never bought the single-carded figures, because you get them everywhere else. If you just stick to the sets, get this set, get the Batmobile, get the Batcave, you'll get pretty much all the same stuff. I think the only single-carded figure you'd actually need to get is Selina Kyle, because that's the undamaged version, and it comes with the whip accessory that she doesn't get anywhere else. Everything else is pretty much covered in these box sets, so... in any case, this is a nice set. Yes, you're going to get a few things you probably already have, but I think what you get that you don't already have more than makes up for it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.